What's going on, guys? It's Britta back with the Odin Project, and we are in block and inline, and we have two assignments to do. So I have the first one up here, margin and padding practice. For this first exercise, simply edit the styles.css file so that the divs look like the image below. Only edit the CSS where instructed in the file. You should only have to change the values of the margin and padding for this exercise. You should not have to add or remove properties in the CSS or touch the HTML. And this is our desired outcome here. And this is our self-check section. So we're going to scroll down. I want to have that diagram up. Where was it? Block and inline. I think it may have been in the last section. So let's go back and open up the box model. Yeah, this right here. Alright, so let's take a peek at our styles.css. Alright, so we want div 1 and div 3 to have 32 pixels between their text and border. So we want to make the padding 32 pixels. Oh, also I want to go ahead and drag this over so we can see what it looks like right now before I save. Alright, so that's what it looks like now. That's what we need to make it look like. Alright, so back to our styles. Div 1, we want 32 pixels between their text and border. Div 1 has 12 pixels between it and any other element on the page. So that would be the margin, right? Padding, margin, yes. So we need to have 12 pixels to the margin. Alright. Div 1 and div 3. So div 3, we need to change the padding to 32. And then there is a 48 pixel gap between div 2 and div 3. Margin bottom. So we want this one to be 48 pixels. Div 3 is aligned to the right. So div 3 padding, margin left 0 pix. Div 3's alignment is achieved using margin and not float. Let's go ahead and save this and just see what that did for everything else. So let's refresh this. So div 1, div 2 are right. Div 3 is not right. And I have to remember how many pixels to move that over. So div 1 is 32. Let's try to do 32 here. I'm not sure what the margin left should be 0 pix. No, that's what it had, which is weird. Let's save that and see what that did. I'm not sure what that's gonna do. Oh, div left. What's the full? Let's try 48. I don't think it's gonna move it that much. Yeah, it's not moving it a whole lot. I forget what the total pixels. Let's try 120 and see what that does. Don't ask me where I got 120 from, but still didn't move it all the way. Div 3 is aligned to the right. Div 3's alignment is achieved using margin and not float. Margin. So what if I change this? Margin right 0 pixels. Save, refresh. Nope, that did the same thing. So margin left 0 pixels. So why is that? Why is margin left and right both doing the same thing? And what's the total amount of pixels? The padding 32. So what, how much do I need to do that? Let's go back here and go here. And I don't think it tells us, I don't believe it tells us like the total amount. Let's see. I didn't go over these in the video last time, but I did go over them separately, but I don't think it said. Does it tell us max width 600 pixels? So if that's 600 pixels, let's try 250. Save that and go back here and refresh. And it's closer, but still not quite. Let's put it at 300. Oh, I guess half of 600 is 300, duh. Which still doesn't seem to be right because if you look at theirs, this is like in line with div 2. So what is div 2? Margin bottom, margin border, 3 pixels. So let's try 350. 350. Refresh. That looks more right, but now mine looks kind of too far over. So I'm going to do like 340. That looks better. But I don't know that that's right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and look at the solution just to see. So what they changed was margin left auto. So let's try auto. And I should have thought of that, honestly. Okay. So the correct answer was to put auto. Everything else we did properly. So we're going to go ahead and go out of this one. Close that. We don't need that right now. And on to the next assignment. So this is margin and padding 2. So let's open up our, this is what it needs to look like. Let's make it a bit smaller there. You can see the whole thing. Okay. Let's open up the README. We're going to go ahead and close this and this. And open this one. And this one. Okay, so this one is a little nicer looking and a little closer to something you might see in the real world. You'll need to change a little more than just margin and padding to make it look exactly right. Alright, and this is our desired outcome. Use this section to check your work. On these projects, your goal isn't to attain 100% pixel perfection, but to use the tools you've learned to get relatively close to the desired output. There is an 8 pixels between the edge of the card and its content, the blue sections. There is an 8 pixel gap between each of the blue sections inside the card. The title of the card uses a 16 pixel font. There are 8 pixels between the title text and the edge of the title section. The content section has 16 pixels of space on the top and the bottom, and 8 pixels on either side. Everything inside the dot button container section is centered, and there's 8 pixels of padding. The big button is centered on its own line. The big button has a 24 pixel space on the sides and 8 pixels on top and bottom. Alright, so let's take a peek at our thing here, and it says you're going to need to change a little more than just margin and padding. Okay, because the only thing that has anything margin and padding is the actual card. So, button. The big button has 24 space on the sides and 8 on top and bottom. So, we're going to do padding left. We're going to do 24 pixels. Oh, let's go ahead and do our normal and drag this over, see what it looks like. And that is what it looks like. Alright, so we are right now working on the button. So padding left 24 pixels, padding right 24 pixels. Yeah? Alright, let's just save that and refresh and see what it looks like. Alright, so it did move it over. I don't quite know that that's what we needed to do. Alright, so let's do padding top. I think it said 8 pixels. Padding bottom 8 pixels. Let's save that, see what happens. Alright, so that made the button bigger. The big button is centered on its own line. So line center. We're missing something. Align what? Box align. Box align center. Let's try that. And refresh. I don't think that did what we wanted it to do. It absolutely did not. But also, button, box align center. So it did not move the button. What else we got going on? The title of the card uses a 16 pixel font. So title, we're going to use font size 16 pixels. I save this way too often. That seemed bigger before. I'm confused why that happened. Why it went smaller. It was bigger. I have content inside me. So, where's the end? I don't like when it does this here. Here's some stuff you need to read. So after read, div class content, dot content should have 16 space on top and bottom. So margin top. I think maybe I'm using it wrong. Let's go back again and go to the box model. I think it should actually be the padding. So let's get rid of that. We're going to do padding top. What did I say it was? 16 pixels. Padding bottom 16 pixels, padding left should be 8 pixels, padding right should be 8 pixels. Alright, let's save it, see what that did. Refresh. Alright, that's looking a little bit better. That's just the content though. The button container. Okay. So the big button is centered. So align self center. Let's see if that did what I think it's gonna do. Did not. And I don't know why and A, because it's in the button container. So I think what I needed to do here is add, I'm going to try this. So we're going to cut that from there and put that in the button container and see what happens here. Alright, so that did not do what I thought it was going to do. So we're going to paste that back. Save it. Alright, so now we got the big button back. We got the big button back, but I'm unsure how to separate. There's 8 pixels between the edge of the card and its content, the blue sections, which is the padding. The edge of the card and its contents. So, padding, eight pixels. Save that and see what happened. I'm not sure that that was right. Between the edge of the card and its contents. This looks too big now. The margin is 16. And for some reason, this font size for the title does not look right. At least compared to this, it doesn't. The big button is centered on its own line. I can't figure out this part. I have some content inside of me. That's the div class content. Now I put the padding. And I think I have to also put margin. (16) space on top and bottom, 8 pixels on either side. I'm stumped on this one, guys. And it says that I'm gonna have to change more than just the margin and padding, which I haven't added margin to anything but the card. No, I didn't do that. 16 pixels auto. Button border has 1 pixel. I think I have to add a border. We're gonna see what this does. I don't know if I'm right. 1 pixel solid. Let's see what that did. I don't think that was right. Nope, not right. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and end this one here, guys, and do some more learning and then come back to it. So I will see you guys on the next one, and I thank you for watching. Bye!